welcome back to the channel. I'm Animal Jeff, and today I was wanting to talk about how to hatch out mystery snail eggs. So this morning I was messing around with my aquariums, feeding my fish, and discovered there was a clutch of mystery snail eggs. And in the past, I've hatched out many clutches of mystery snails, um, and in the beginning it was not that easy. I had a lot of complications with it, and anyways, I want to share with you kind of what I have found that tends to work really well, the way that I do it. You guys may have some other ways, and if so, please let me know in the comments below, because I do experiment and like to try different things and improve my techniques, and if I like it, I'll also share it in a video. But what I do is I get a little container like this that has a snap-on lid that you can snap on pretty tightly. And one of the key things that you have to do is clean out your container very well. You don't want any type of bacteria or molds, because that is an enemy, definitely, of your snail eggs. They'll turn green, they'll get bugs on them, all kinds of stuff, and they won't hatch out correctly. So make sure that it's very clean. That's one of the first things you need to do. Also, on the lid, I poke little holes in mine. I don't really know if you need to. I open mine every day or every other day, and that lets in fresh air in itself. So, um, is it necessary to poke holes? I don't know. I don't really think that it is if you're opening it as often as I do. So also what I do is I take well, first of all, I break the snail egg off of the side of the aquarium. And I usually let it sit. Once I notice it, I let it sit in the aquarium for about 2 days so it will harden up. The shell, the first day, is very soft. And if you go to try to break it loose, you can crush and damage some of the eggs. So give it 2 days, and then start wiggling it, and it should break off pretty easily. Sometimes they're a little bit harder than others, but you may have to work at it for a minute. Uh, I'll take a smooth, flat card or something, kind of slide it up under there in order to get it to break loose. Once I've got that, I take my container and I put a little bit of water in the bottom, and then I set a little lid, in my container, and I use uh, empty or an old milk jug, the lid off of it. I'll clean it off. Or the last one I used was from a vitamin pill bottle that was empty. And then so I set that in here, and then I put a little bit of water around it, and then I set the egg clutch on top of it, so it's up out of the water and stays dry. And the water in the bottom serves a couple purposes. It keeps the humidity inside the container high, and that's really good for the egg. And then also, when they go to hatch, they'll have somewhere to go off into. Um, Another key thing that I have learned that has really helped, it's one of the most important things, is every day or every other day, I take a little misting bottle and I spray directly on the egg every day, so the shell does not get too hard. If it hardens up, the, the snails can't get out, and they tend to die in the egg. So go ahead and mist it every day or every other day. No later than every other day. And then another key point is, about every 3, maybe 4 days, the water that's in the bottom, I dump it out. I clean the bowl out again pretty good, and then I add fresh water. And I always add just regular tap water. I don't use dechlorinated water or anything like that on the spray or inside the container. Um, and then I float it. I have the eggs floating, or I have the egg on the lid, with my lid snapped down on top of it, and then I float it in my aquarium. And the aquarium water is about 80 degrees, 79, 80 degrees, and I find that hatches them out pretty quickly. Any cooler than that, if you go down into the mid or low 70s, they take a lot longer to hatch. So around 80 degrees, I find is best. So I'll let that float, and then you'll open it up, and then you'll see a couple teeny tiny babies that have hatched out. At that point, I'll see if the egg clutch is real soft and crumbly? And if so, I usually help them out. I kind of crumble it up a little bit and get the babies out. I have a better success whenever I do that. So I do that, and then I let them stay in there in that water, um, with the also with the egg in there because they feed off of it. And then on the second day, what I do is I feed them some Pleco wafers. Well, I was going to show you the ones that I use, but my dog chewed it up. So I'll have to go clip one in for you guys. But what I do is I take those wafers, I break them apart, and I add a couple little pieces in there, and that's enough for them to feed on. After about a week, I put them in an aquarium by themselves. I try not to put them in an aquarium where there's a lot of big fish, like say these angelfish back here, because they will eat them. It's okay to have them with little guppies and things like that, but I prefer to have them by themselves if possible. I'll show you a little bit of a video with a bunch of them in there, and then just go ahead and I feed them the Pleco wafers. Every once in a while, I'll put in like a little piece of carrot or something like that, and they do very well and they grow quite quickly. Anyway, if you have any questions, go ahead and leave it in the comments below. I do get back to everybody that asks questions, and if you have any suggestions, also let me know. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching my video all the way to the end. I greatly appreciate it. I'll have another one coming out pretty soon. Please like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button.